How does society control young adults? Simply stated, it puts them into financially coercive situations using one of two means. So the first mean, which tends to be a little bit more prevalent in liberal society, is it highly encourages young people to get a college degree. I don't want to say that getting a college degree is always wrong, but it is a financial decision that most kids make when they're 17 or 18. They take on way more debt than their current earning capacity or what they even know their earning capacity is going to be. On the other side of that, they now have a very large amount of debt, the largest amount of debt you've seen young people entering the workforce with since things like indentured servitude. What that does is it forces them to get a job and join the workforce immediately, and it makes it so they cannot take a break from the workforce because they have to pay this debt. It really shortens the exploration period for young people. It makes it so they can't try out new things, they can't try out different paths. Switching careers is very expensive, and so functionally college, which is supposed to be a way of expanding your horizons, is functionally a way of collapsing horizons for a lot of people. Now, I don't want to say that people should never go to college. I went to college myself. I just think that it's something that should be entered into more mindfully, entered into when you have a sense of why you're going, what you might want to be learning. It shouldn't be the default next step. And a lot of people end up basically getting trapped into debt before they're even really a full adult. The second common way that we financially coerce young people is by having them have kids. The average age of first parenthood in the US is increasing. It has gone up to 26 from 21. However, there is a very sharp liberal conservative divide here, with conservatives having children younger than that. Now, if you add to this the fact that learning about certain types of birth control are frowned upon in conservative society, abstinence-only education is pushed, while abstinence-only education is linked to increase things like teen pregnancy, what you start to see is that people are being pushed into having children younger. Around the time that college kids are leaving college, kids who don't leave college are possibly about to have their first kid. And what that means is these people also are functionally entering the workforce with a lot of debt. Now they have a child to pay for. They also are being forced to enter the workforce perhaps before they really think about what they want to do with their lives or knowing if they're ready for that. And again, I don't want to say people shouldn't have children. A lot of people love having children, but for it to be pushed before you really know yourself or really thought to yourself about what you want, just because your family wants you to, your family thinks it's right, or because you got pregnant by accident, or you got your partner pregnant by accident because you were lacking information on modern birth control, these are not great times to start a family. But again, this is a way that we sort of force young people into the workforce, make it really difficult for them to take a gap from the workforce, because it is a lot easier to save up enough money for yourself to take a work vacation than it is for you to save up enough money for your entire family. Again, it limits people's exploration phase of figuring out who they are and who they want to be. And I kind of labeled one liberal and conservative. Obviously, there's a lot of mix and match, and some people do both. But what's important to point out, though, is while currently it's really common to view liberal and conservative America as very different, in some deep ways they're actually not fundamentally very different. And the primary similarity between the two is you see an older generation of people using money and trapping the younger generation in to get them to do what they want, to get them to not explore for themselves, to get them to not innovate, find new things, find new ways of living. I think that American society as a whole is extremely financially coercive and has been for a while. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about coercion, I did make another video talking about that more in the abstract. But another thing that is making this very difficult is we've become so polarized. You really see one way of life versus the other way of life and people arguing, when actually the things that are really trapping people in America, the things that are really making it hard for them to live for themselves, to be the person they want to be, they often transcend both liberal and conservative society. And so for any young people watching this, I don't say this to either discourage going to college or having a family. I only say this to make sure when you do it for yourself, because you do end up giving up a lot of freedom to do it. And it's okay to give up your freedom to pursue your own dreams, but it hurts to give up your freedom just because you felt like that was the thing you were supposed to do. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Bye.